Because we love biatches! What's up? It's Brian back for another episode of the Spaghetti Western Jamboree, where what do? We talk about spaghetti westerns, of course. The spaghetti western genre, if you're not familiar with it, go to the Spaghetti Western database. They got all the answers. They got a top 20 list. They got an alternate top 20 list. They got the Alex Cox top 20 list. You know you're going to get some good shit there. You know you're going to get some good, it's the perfect resource. Now, if you're a spaghetti western fan, you've probably heard. If you haven't seen tonight's movie, you've at least heard of it. It is, of course, the infamous Django Kill. If you live, shoot. At least that's how I always pronounce the title. This is a really, really, really strange movie. We've done a couple of movies on here in the past that certainly have horror themes in them. We did For the Apocalypse, of course, by the infamous Lucio Fulci. And that's a really, really dark movie. We also did And God Said to Cain, which is definitely what you would call a gothic western. Tonight's movie is pretty much just a straight-up horror movie that just happens to be in a western setting. It's very, very strange. And we're going to get into why this movie is as strange as it is and why it is so beloved by so many spaghetti western fans. If you've never seen it before, guess what? It is readily available. There's a link below in the description. Click on that and it will take you to a free, I'm happy to say, restored and unedited version of the movie, because this movie was impossible to find back in the day. Impossible to find. Even if you were like a cult collector and you were kind of like in that network, right, of people that were like swapping cult movies, finding a uncensored version of this movie was virtually impossible. There were a couple of copies floating around that were composite prints. That is to say, there's like, bits and pieces from different versions of the film. So so it would take like a German version, a Japanese version, an Italian version, you name it, and just kind of fucking throw them all together and come up with as close as they could get to a authentic full version of the movie. But yeah, we're gonna get into that. But before we get into that, gotta bring on your boy Matt, who's at work. What's going on, Matt? Wait, I can't unmute him? Did he mute himself? That bastard.
I think Matt's boss is
What up, guys? What's cracking?
what up, Matt? Hey man, glad you could join us, even though it's under duress.
Yeah, this movie was killer, man.
You saw it?
Oh yeah. It was the same dude. Was it Carlos Milan or Milan or something like that?
Almost Milan.
Yeah. He was wearing taking the Django title in this one, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. So, folks, if you're not familiar with the spaghetti western genre, there are about 1 billion movies with Django in the title. I think the last count was like 52. That's because Django was such a hit in Italy in 67, 68, that they just started adding the name Django to the title of movies just to try to get butts in the seats and just to try to trick people into thinking that they were walking into a Django sequel, which they weren't. Not to say that there weren't like some like 4 Django sequels. There's one with Terrence Hill that's actually pretty good. There's one, there's actually 2 Django versus Sartana movies. We haven't done, and actually we did do Sartana on this, but that's when I was riding solo. We got to do a Sartana movie one of these days. Then of course we got to bring on my man too, Preston Esteveda. What is going on, you sexy bitch?
I'm doing pretty good, and this movie was pretty good actually. I never got to that scene you were talking about though. Like,
oh, that scene.
That scene. So,
one of the more infamous aspects of this movie for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like, where do you even begin with this one, man? Where do you even begin? This was directed by Giulio Questi, and he was a guy who, I'm not saying Antifa, he was fighting real fascists in Italy during World War II and saw some shit. And I think I've discussed, like, on the horror stream, like, one of the reasons there's so much violence and bloodshed and sadism and straight up cruelty in the Italian horror movies and westerns is because it was kind of like a way of the Italian filmmakers dealing with their own experiences living under Mussolini, which was pretty horrific if you weren't yourself like a fascist. Just horrible things that they saw, and then of course, obviously we're fighting too, the horrors of war and all that stuff. And there's definitely a lot of fascist imagery in this, including the infamous gay bandito gang led by Zorro. Is the character's name, although I think it's pronounced Zora. Yeah, and they do horrible things to Ray Lovelock, who who is just looking so prettier than any of the girls in the movie. They couldn't resist, man. Can you blame them? Let's take a real quick look at the trailer for this. And
hello?
Oops, buffering.
Hello.
There we go. Pretty cool score to this movie. It's not by Morricone, and it's not by Louis Bacalov or Bruno Nicolai, who are usually the guys that you got if you couldn't get Morricone. Scored by this is, I don't know, I'm going to have to look it up. Kapaw! Love that gunshot. You know, I think I just realized I don't think that this trailer has any footage. It's actually from the movie. I mean, some of it is, but it's obviously animated. It's rotoscoped. Now, the horror movies in like the 1960s and 70s, some of them, not all of them, obviously, it was a gimmick where, you know, they'd say like, hey, you know, you might want to like grab one of the free barf bags before you go into the film. There'd be a little warning, right? For this, the warning would be, if it were in my hands, the warning would be, do not drop acid before you watch this.
Especially in the first 10 minutes.
Especially in the first 10 minutes. Or whole first half hour. This is just a very, 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 very strange film. And we are going to get into that. Let's see. Let me add... Oh shit, we lost Matt. But he may be back. We'll see. Things are a little touch and go on his end. That's all right. We still appreciate you, brother. There we go. Yeah. People have referred to the spaghetti westerns as peyote westerns. To me, this would be like a western on the brown acid from Woodstock. Right? It's just a bad trip. You really don't know what you're getting into. Alex Cox, the guy who directed Repo Man, of course, classic cult movie. He also wrote his senior thesis was called 10,000 Ways to Die, which was a book about spaghetti westerns. And about a decade ago, he finally published it, updated, cleaned up, and everything. And it's one of these seminal texts on the non-Sergio Leone spaghetti westerns. And he actually puts this in the top 10. He actually puts this, I think, at number 7 in his top 10. He said he went to see this in a movie theater it was like a double bill with another spaghetti western. And he can't even remember what the other movie was because this movie was just so completely from outer space. Yeah. This is the version that I got here. These are screenshots from the I think this was this Blue Underground? Yeah, this is the Blue Underground release. think this came out in early 2000s. I'm thinking maybe like 2003, 2004 or so. And
What tripped me out is that
Yeah.
out of nowhere, they just started speaking Italian. So,
Well,
it's
remember
crazy.
what I was saying at the beginning about the composite prints? How the only
Uh-huh.
way you could find versions of this movie were versions that were like, like taken from like a Japanese, from a German VHS, Japanese
Mhm.
laser disc, et cetera, and then people would just kind of splice together the most complete version of the movie, because this movie it was very, very difficult to see unedited. And so every edited version was somehow different. When you're watching this film and suddenly everybody's speaking Italian and there are subtitles, those are scenes that are restored to the film that were never in the American version, so they never had the American dubbing, right? They never had the English dubbing. And so it's included, for the sake of completion. And of course, I mean, some of the footage that's restored in this, it's kind of, it's insane that they cut it out. I mean, you understand why.
It's almost like Django's a job title, man.
What'd you say?
Django's a job title.
It pretty much is. Like I said, Django was a huge hit, and so they were just attaching Django to the title of any Western that they were making, just to kind of boost sales and put butts in seats. But this is, Django's is a pretty heavy duty movie. Definitely has like some gothic horror elements in it. Like I said, we did and God said to Cain. This, however, is the one a horror spaghetti that is just like mainly just if you forced me to classify this, does this go in the Western section? Does this go in the horror section? I'd be like, this goes in the horror section for sure. It's not a Western that has horror elements. It's a horror movie really that has Western elements. Would you fellas agree or disagree with that?
I don't know. I never really seen the horror aspect of it. Like, I mean, it had some like desert voodoo going on in there. You know what I'm saying? Which was cool, but
Yeah.
and the golden bullets was a nice touch. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think the golden bullets would pierce easier.
No, that's bullshit.
As a matter of fact, I think the golden bullets would have flattened out as soon as they hit somebody because gold's so goddamn soft.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. That it would make like a nastier wound, maybe like a nastier exit wound or something.
I think the beginning part was kind of horrific, definitely. The first 20 minutes,
Yeah, I mean, the movie...
And the resurrection stuff.
Yeah. Where Thomas Million's hand is seen clawing out of the grave. And he comes crawling out of this mass grave that he and his Mexican muchachos have been unceremoniously dumped in after being gunned down by their gringo compatriots. When he gets discovered by these Native American guys, they drag him out. They tend to his wounds. They take care of him, and they decide that they're going to follow him because he has some connection to the other side, right? He's been dead and returned from the grave. We've talked before about certain comic book characters or comic book inspired characters, Swamp Thing, The Crow, RoboCop, cases of characters that are transformed by death, right? They die and they come back and they're somehow different. I don't know if you could really say that about Thomas Million's character in this, though, because he is unlike your typical spaghetti Western hero. In fact, I don't even know if you could even really call him a hero in this.
Yeah,
There's something, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a hero either. Yeah, it was. What was weird is that I thought what was really weird was that the people he was going to kill, like the whole gang, got killed by the town. I'm like, well, what kind of revenge Western is this?
Exactly. It's because everything that would normally happen that you'd think would be the bulk of the story, right? That he's going to hunt these guys down. Maybe they split up. Maybe he takes them out one by one until he gets to the main guy, right? In this, and all the bad guys, the ones that were responsible for killing him and his friends, they're dead in the first 30 minutes, and they do not die nicely.
No,
they don't just get shot.
That dude was racist in the beginning. He's like, I'm not giving my gold to any dirty Mexicans.
Yeah.
Yes, because
racist.
Thomas Million's character is identified as a half-breed, that he's half European and that he's half Mexican. And so he's teamed up, he and his muchachos, they've teamed up with these American bandits to rob a Wells Fargo shipment of gold. And they get double-crossed because their leader is just like, hey, man, you know what? Like, you guys want your share? Yeah, well, how about we don't give it to you and we, like, make you dig your own graves and murder you instead, which is exactly what they do. We've talked before about, like, the heavy-duty sadism in these movies and all the leering faces. There's a lot of leering
the characters
faces in this movie.
Draw the fuck out of that fool.
Right? This is like when finally Django discovers that he and his boys have been double-crossed. That his gun won't fire when he draws because they've conveniently removed the bullets. And so the rest of the gang, the white dudes, are just fucking yocking it up, just having a good old time at his expense. And he and his friends get blasted, and some of the gold is discovered by the Indians that rescue him, and they make golden bullets for him. Now, these are obviously like wood painted gold, but whatever. This should be mentioned. This is a very low budget movie. They did not exactly have an extravagant budget on this picture.
Oh, I can tell.
Right?
That was weird too. When they walking into the town's just evil. They're stepping on a little girl, One chick's
creepy
like,
ass
I'll bite
town,
you
dude.
if you come too close.
That little girl was creepy too, man.
The town is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's a character.
It's like what do the Indians call it? They call it the unhappy place. What does that make you think of? It makes you think of hell, right? So they go into this town, and the first thing you see is a little girl with a guy using her like as a footrest. And as the camera's moving around, right, these guys are walking into the town, and immediately they know that something's wrong, right? That something's not quite right. Here, this woman is threatening to bite her husband, I think, who's trying to put his hands on her. I think maybe it's like a husband that's trying to grape his wife, right?
You don't know if it's his wife.
You don't know.
Could be his sister.
In this town, anything's possible. Then you see a hedgehog. There are no hedgehogs in America. We don't have those. That's a European thing, right? Once again, it's like the Spaghetti West is its own play.
Sonic.
I'm sorry?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog? Yeah, I don't know. He don't move that quick. Hedgies are fucking adorable too. They're super cute. Now this dude's not laughing. This guy's not yawking it up anymore. They're just like, they immediately start looking scared. And yeah, the locals are just eyeing them in a way that is not friendly.
Yeah, I didn't expect this scene to go down like that.
Not at all. If anything, you would expect these guys, what would normally happen in a spaghetti western is this gang would come in and they would fucking manhandle the town. And this shit goes sideways for them, and it goes sideways really, really fucking fast. Yeah, there's one of Zorro's guys, one of Zorro's muchachos, you know, a member of the gay Mexican bandito gang that I mentioned before. I don't know if this is the case, but a lot of people think that the reason why Zorro's gang in this are wearing black is because they represent the fascists. And this is a movie that is anything but subtle. So I'm inclined to agree that that's probably the case. Don't you get the impression it's kind of black in here? Unnatural? You know, when their leader brushes it off. Ah, it's stupid, man. It's just your imagination, right? It's just the desert, you know. It just got like a little bit of sunstroke. Let me see. I do think I have the scene of what happens to the gang. It's like these guys think that they've gotten away with mass murder and robbery, and instead they've come right out of the frying pan, right into the fucking blast furnace.
Come on, hurry. Can't let him get away. What are you waiting for?
Now this dude's acrobatic as fuck. I don't know where he thinks he's going, but God bless him. And this dude fucking hits the ground, and they just start fucking beating on him with
brutal.
With this
brutal, dude.
They dump this guy in the water trough, and then they're just like,
much better.
Reminds me of a blanket party in the army, like.
Scream, pussy, scream!
Stop him!
Like, oh, you thought you were all cool shaving your head to look like Mussolini, huh, motherfucker? And for those of you that don't know what happened to Mussolini, they hung him by his feet and just fucking dragged his body through the streets and kicked him in the head until like his head fell apart.
You can tell he was liked. He was loved.
Yeah, well, he was a piece of fucking shit. You know, one of those things. It's just like, you know me. I'm anti-violence, anti-war, and all that shit, and anti-capital punishment. But couldn't have happened to a nicer fucking guy. It's one of those things where if I saw it, I'd be like, "Damn, ain't that a shame?" Man.
Hold him still while I get this rope around his neck.
Right, so this is pretty
Ow.
fucking savage and brutal, and it just gets more and more savage and brutal. Just dragging their bloody fucking bodies through the streets.
Get that rope around there, come on. Come on, get a move on.
See, this dude at least is a little friendly. Fucking takes the dude's cigar, puts a noose around his neck, and then sticks the cigar back in his mouth.
That dude does the funniest one out of all of them.
How
Has his
considerate.
tongue sticking out the whole time while he's being hanged.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, hey, it's better than he deserved. Remember, like one of the Mexican brothers was lamenting. It's like, they're gonna kill us without even giving us a shot of tequila first.
Oh, yes, the red paint. Love it.
Yep. That like really bright, like super technicolor blood.
There's plenty of rope to spare in this town and little else. Now you're supposed to.
Now, mind you, this is like in the first fucking like 15, 20 minutes of the movie.
Sets the tone really good.
Yeah, it does.
Now you're supposed to be hanging these men, so get.
Because these dudes are some bad motherfuckers, right? And it's just like they've walked into a community full of people that are like 100 times worse.
Get on with it.
Thought you were bad.
Exactly. And there's Ray Lovelock. Ray Lovelock was a actor that was in, I know this is one of his first movies. He became famous, I think, mostly for his role in The Living Dead in the Manchester Morgue, which was one of the movies on the video nasties list. That is to say, in England, cops would go from video store to video store, and if a movie was on that list, they would confiscate the copies of that movie. He was also in a bunch of Polizio Tesches. He was also in some more spaghettis. He had a pretty good career. Thomas Milian said about him that he looks like an angel, and he is an angel. Said a very, very sweet man, cares very, very deeply about other people's feelings, unlike me. Yeah, so this is just like another fucking day in this town for him. He is, I think, there's clearly no hero in this movie. I'd say that there are also virtually no sympathetic characters. I think he's pretty much the only sympathetic character in the entire film.
I don't know. Django liberated that dude's wife.
Oh, yeah, the deranged woman. Yes, and we're going to get into her and how she's a character that is right out of like a gothic Charlotte Bronte novel.
Thieves, murderers, there's no salvation for men like you.
Definitely a gothic western.
Pray for forgiveness to Almighty God.
Mad crazy.
Hey, there's
Except for the prodigal son thing.
Right. Yeah, and then he turns out to be like a Roderick Usher kind of a character. He ends up being like a character right out of like a Edgar Allan Poe movie. You know, like one of the Roger Corman ones. Speaking of which, Roger Corman, rest in peace. Much respect.
Seriously, man.
98 years old. Can you believe that shit?
Hopefully we could live that long, you know?
I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
we got books to tell, you know?
Yeah,
You
we
ain't
do.
doing books if you live to be 98.
Dude,
Wait.
no, for real. There's a guy from Mad Magazine that was 90-something. He's still making comics. He's still drawing. I think he's still alive. I forgot what his name is.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Well, yeah.
We
As
can
long as you're
only-
happy.
we can only hope, and that's the thing too, is that he was 98 and he wasn't decrepit, right? Because who wants to live to be 98 years old if you spend the last 20 years like in a wheelchair, senseless, like drooling, right?
That's why I take my vitamins.
Serious. Hey, it's
You
the only
think I'm
reason I
lying?
exercise it's not to get all buff. It's just to avoid becoming decrepit. So he had his wits about him. Roger Corman was one of those old people that you look at and you think to yourself, damn, old age isn't going to be that scary if I could age like that dude.
Deathstalker's metal as fuck.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, his name's not even on that. I mean, he produced it.
Producer.
Yes. Of course, best known for his. I guess he'd probably be best known for Little Shop of Horrors, which he shot in 2 days. That's the famous 2-day movie.
The Fantastic Four.
Which he produced, yes, which was a real fiasco. I think most comic book people kind of know the story behind that, how it was made just so that the people who had the rights could retain the rights, because the contract stipulated that they would lose the rights unless they made a movie. So they needed to make a movie, any movie. And so who do you go to if you need a movie made in a snap like that for like virtually nothing? Roger Corman. And he made it happen. And then the people that financed the whole thing were just like, yeah, this is never coming out. Nobody's ever seeing this. It will never see the light of day. So the only way you could see it was through bootleg copies at conventions. Now, of course, I think it's
Pizza Medi dropped it the other night. If you go to his channel, the whole movie.
Yeah, now it's. I don't know if it ever got an official release, but it's very easy to find out. Of course, now we got the internet.
Which movie was it?
The Fantastic Four.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I got a copy of it.
They got Dr. Doom right. It's the only Fantastic Four movie that gets Dr. Doom right.
I thought it was decent. Jim Lee was a prick. I mean, Stan Lee was a prick the way he handled it.
Well,
for the 90s low budget.
Yeah, but he told him, he was like, y'all doing a great job. You're doing a great job. And he's like, this movie never sees the light of day.
Yeah. No, was that his call?
Yeah, I think so. Like you're
doing a great job, true believers.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to fuck you. The thing about that movie is I feel about that movie the same way I feel about the Fist of the North Star live action movie, which is that the people who made it absolutely 100% had their hearts in the right place, right? So, like, I salute them for that, but they just didn't have the money. And so, I mean, there's, me, I love low budget films, but there's certain, you don't want to do a low budget Fantastic Four movie. And I think the budget for that was $2 million at that time, which was actually I think 2 episodes of like Star Trek, The Next Generation. Oh yeah, and then there's a little bizarre humor here. Did you catch this? When he's hunting down the hats of the killer.
Switching the hats.
Yeah, in the mercantile store. And he like comes up underneath this hat. This is like some fucking Terrence Hill shit right here.
Some artsy stuff.
Yeah, and then is that a bowler or is that a derby?
It's a bowler.
I can never tell the two apart. And there's Zorro with his gang. And there is the lady that is locked up in the attic of the house. That is, I mean, this is a character that's right out of like a Bronte novel, right?
I can't figure it out. Like
one of these standard characters in Gothic literature.
Was she supposed to be a whore or something like that?
No, she's bad. Or at least
I know she's bad, but was she? I kept getting to feel like she was the madam or something like that of a whorehouse.
No. I think you're getting
definitely spooky.
Yeah, she's the mad woman. Although, she's married, and her husband, who's the local holy man, the preacher, right, whom we heard preaching before to the
She's
good
that
people.
spooky strange. You know what I'm talking?
Yes, with doubt.
Django's like, I got to get me some spooky strange.
Hey man, you know, I do like
Gotta
I
do
do like
what
me,
you gotta
I
do.
do like me the spooky chicks, you know, put a woman in a Morticia dress and I gets all hot and bothered.
There's nothing wrong with Morticia.
Now, mind you, you know, whether you're insane or not, if you're like locked up in a room and literally caged in like that, if you weren't insane before, you're going to be insane now. It's solitary confinement. The whole purpose of solitary confinement is to drive people literally insane. Ah, yeah. And then we come to this scene, which is definitely, I think, the most infamous virtually. So these fools, this guy's been shot to pieces by Thomas Million's character, and he wasn't trying to kill him; he was just trying to really fuck him up. And so he's shot in the leg, he's shot in the torso. He's just a bullet riddled mess. And so what passes for one in this town starts sawing into him. You have a nice close up here.
Did they actually saw into a corpse? Because that skin looked really weird, like real.
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know what my guess is? What they would usually use? Pork.
I thought about that too, but then I'm looking at the skin around him. You know what I'm saying? Like around the incision, and I'm like, I think that's a real guy. Like they cut into. You know, like you don't think so?
It looks great. It looks great, but no.
Because when they pulled it apart, you could see the white meat. You know what I'm saying? And you could see the fat and stuff like. And I don't think they had that type of technology back then.
No, they were just really clever.
Yeah.
They were just really clever. They would just this is a piece of pork.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Like this was their lunch.
You're probably right. It's just they did a really good job on it.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Italian special effects artists were like way ahead. Not just the makeup artists, also the visual effects. Mario Bava did a lot of really, really clever shit. You guys still haven't seen Planet of the Vampires. The special effects in that
can't wait for that one, dude.
I think I've seen that one. I'm almost positive it's black and white, right? Like
no, it's in color.
It's in color.
No, it's in color. Bava only ever did one movie in black and white, and that was Black Sunday.
Okay.
So this guy's screaming, and then they find out that there's
gold in them there hills.
There's gold in that body. And
digging for gold.
Yeah, once this guy sees that, that it's a golden bullet that he's been shot with, everybody's just like, gold, and everybody just jumps in and starts jamming their fucking fingers into his fucking bullet wound.
That's brutal, man.
Around looking for fucking golden bullets.
I got the golden bullet.
What did he say? It was $80 a bullet?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the estimate there.
So much that dude's life's worth right there.
I know. Yeah, so then he dies.
It's gonna cost you.
I mean, this dude went hard.
He was worth his weight in gold.
Yes. Yes, he was. Well, I mean, also I'm assuming that weight must have like slowed him down too. He's trying to get away from you while you fucking
like Wolverine.
Pumping more fucking bullets into him. Yeah, so
he just strolls in there like a pimp. Don't pay me. I don't want the money yet.
Yeah, because that's right. There was the whole massacre started because they found they had a wanted poster with that guy's face on it, and they just they just went crazy and just fucking butchered the entire gang. And then this guy's like, then Million's character, Django, I guess we'll call him, is, is like, aren't you going to pay me for the 500? And the guy all gives him the 500. He's like, nah, just hang on to it. I just want a place to crash. So Evan, that is the character that's played by Ray Lovelock, asks him like, "Hey, will you take me out of here? Will you get me out of this fucking hellhole?" Right? Because he knows I mean, it's no mystery. He's living in fucking hell. It's right. If you were in that town, you'd be in a fucking hurry to get the fuck out of there too. Unless you're like a fucking maniac. But that's the thing. He's not a maniac. He's the only character in this that doesn't display any negative characteristics. Right? He doesn't seem cruel. He doesn't seem selfish or
he's got some anger issues.
Yeah, he went a little Norman Bates on that wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah. His stepmother, he's not really proud of. He's not really happy with, and he takes his anger out on her clothes. So it's if any one of the other townspeople would probably just shank a motherfucker, right? Would just fucking stab her to death or cut her eyeballs out or something. This is the worst this kid's capable of.
I was thinking, like, she had to sell him out, though, right? Like her old man about the gold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and actually, it's kind of weird too. I think that like the kid actually has some. It almost gives you to feel like he's got some sexual deviant thoughts about his stepmother too. That
yes, jealousy. I think.
Yeah.
If you were living in that town too, especially if you grew up in that town, you'd be fucked up too. You'd probably be a lot more fucked up than he is.
There's probably only 2 women in the town too. So
right.
When you're going through puberty and shit. Yeah.
I was never afraid to teach justice and the fear of God. Yeah, this is the local
typical
Bible
preacher.
Yes. Like here, he's like a crazy preacher, but then in like the latter half of the movie, he turns into fucking Roderick Usher from Roderick Usher from the Fall of the House of Usher, the Edgar Allan Poe story. Because this movie reminds me more of the Roger Corman Edgar Allan Poe movies than anything else. Yeah. And I think that those movies were definitely an influence on this.
They did a remake on Netflix.
I wouldn't necessarily say that was a remake. It was a reimagining, which is to say, and I enjoyed it, by the way. I really enjoyed the Netflix Fall of the House of Usher series, but it's nothing like the original story. What it is that it takes a little bit from a whole bunch of Edgar Allan Poe stuff. Like if you're like an Edgar Allan Poe fan or like a lit major, there's references and Easter eggs, and like for instance, there's a story by Poe called Toby Dammit, right? So then there's a character in it named Toby, and one of the characters is always going, "Toby Dammit," that kind of a thing. I do recommend it. It is definitely it's by the guy who did Dr. Sleep and Midnight Mass and
Stephen King?
No, the guy that does all of the Stephen King stuff.
Oh, the guy who fucks up most of Stephen King stuff.
No, I wouldn't say that. Let's see. Mike Flanagan. And who I think is working on the Dark Tower.
He's doing the Dark Tower. He did like 2 treatments, and he started writing it in college. So hopefully he does it. It's going to be on Prime.
Who did the original Dark Tower movie?
Oh,
good question.
Because that was a fucking work of genius right there.
You know what? I watched it a while back, and
I thought it was
watchable.
Good. Yeah, but it's not a Stephen King movie.
If you're looking for an adaptation of the novel, no.
Way off on that.
Right. It was directed by a guy named Nicolas Arcel.
Better known as Asshole, I think. That's what they call him.
Well, he did the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Actually that entire trilogy. The originals, not the American remake. Yeah. Those were actually TV movies. And if you haven't seen those, by the way, those are really, really good. Those are awesome. Don't watch the Hollywood version of the first novel. It's awful to be in this wicked town. Yeah, no fucking shit. I won't spend another night here. Right. He looks right out the window, and you see these fucking hanging corpses. There must be a better place in this world. And Django says, "Yeah, I've seen better places, boy." And he's like, "You know what? But I'm not leaving. I'm staying here." That's mistake number one, right? I don't care how much fucking gold is in that town. I would get the fuck out of there right away. Because all that gold, even if you get your hands on it, what are they going to do? Melt it and pour it over your head? Something? It's not going to end well. And
that would be amazing. That would be
amazing.
Perfect torture for somebody. Death by gold.
Well, I mean, we do get that at the very gothic climax of this movie. There's also a lot of imagery of him washing his hands. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I was like, is it because at first I thought he was trying to scrub off the blood? Yeah,
right.
But then I was like, he never killed anybody. Well, he did. He shot a guy, but he never killed him. You know, it was a very strange setup for this guy. Like, I don't know. I don't know why. Like, it's like they want him to be the hero, but they're taking away all the elements that would make him a hero. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
It's a very weird movie.
Incredibly strange.
It's almost like they don't know what they're doing.
It's not that, though. It's not that. You know what it was? It was, I think before this, Questi had done like a sex comedy or something. And he got the job. They were like, "Hey, do you want to do a Western?" And he was not a fan of Westerns. He had zero interest in making a Western. And so he just kind of nodded his head and was like, yeah, sure. And instead of making a Western, he just made a fucking art house horror movie. It just takes place in the Old West. So it was him, doing his own thing, making the movie that he wanted to make. And, the producers and the audience be damned. I personally feel like if somebody gave me money to make a movie for them, I'd try to make, the movie that they wanted me to make. And I'd try to make it as personal as possible. But, he just said, fuck that. Which I respect the fuck out of, because I don't think there's any other movie that's like this. I think this is really, even though there are other horror Westerns and Gothic Westerns, this one just has a completely unique look and a feel and just a bizarre vibe to it that is really unlike anything else. Oh yeah. So yeah, then Zorro.
It's very bizarre.
Insanely bizarre.
Characters are interesting though. Like that dude you just passed up, the one with the gray top hat. Like they have a lot of that dude right there in the front.
Yes.
Yeah, they got a lot of interesting faces in this movie. Yeah.
In all the spaghettis. Because that's one of the things that is a hallmark of the spaghettis. That was the thing that was started by Sergio Leone. Because before that, they didn't use a lot of local talent, or at least they didn't put them in front of the camera. And they certainly weren't giving them close-ups. So most of these guys were usually Spanish stuntmen, and they had been, a lot of them, vaqueros, which is to say Spanish cowboys. And these dudes were fucking, insane in terms of like the stunts and crazy shit that they would do. And I know I've mentioned this before on this stream. The directors would use them as actors because then
It's cheaper.
but then also you don't need a stuntman when one of these guys gets hit in the head with a chair or gets shot and falls off of a horse. It's that actual guy.
Yeah.
I think you should pay me for the stunt, the horse riding, and the acting performance.
Oh, for sure. Although somebody tells me it didn't work out that way.
I don't think it did either. I think it was very one-sided.
3-1.
But they loved what they were doing. And they were crazy motherfuckers. Like most stuntmen, adrenaline junkies.
Plus, the chicks were probably flocking to
Oh,
these.
yeah. Oh, dude.
You're a stuntman?
Yeah.
You're in the movies?
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, for sure. Those guys got more ass than a fucking toilet seat, I guarantee you. Yeah. So poor Ray Lovelock, poor Evan, he gets kidnapped by Zora, or Zorro, or however you pronounce his name. And they're holding him hostage, and things get rather uncomfortable. Let's take a look at a clip of this. Be the most, I don't know, movie. It's just like, really? It's just like, there's a lot of fun scenes in this movie. I don't know if this one takes the cake, but it is.
The best of everything, amigo. You can see for yourself. I taught them well to.
Yeah, so Zora is kind of courting Django to join his gang. And Django seems like he's kind of there to protect the boy.
Enjoy good things.
But things don't turn out that way. Yes, they're all snacking on this pig. He's sweating. So while they're eating, they're just like eyeing him like he's a side of beef.
I'm going to eat this banana in front of you.
It's funny because, like, when I was a kid, like, my friend Carrie and I, we'd watch a scene like this and we'd be like, oh, they're going to fuck him. Right? Like, we would imagine that something like that would happen. And
well, they're not trying to hide it.
It actually happened.
They're like, oh yeah, this is going down.
He's sweating, man. He's sweating. You'd be sweating too. If you were
no, I'd be leaving is what I'd be doing.
I'd be gnawing at my fucking hands. You'd blink. There'd be like two severed hands.
I'll tell you exactly what I do. Take a dump.
Yeah.
Just take a dump. That's it.
That's actually not a bad idea. That is actually a pretty good idea.
If I have to pay the ransom for my son.
Yeah, so basically they're trying to ransom Evan because his father has the gold.
They're just trying to scare you.
But things don't quite go as planned.
I'll get your gold.
You want to save the boy, don't you?
For the gold.
All right. But you got to win it. You must first shoot that rope there. The one that ties him to the wall.
He's like, yeah, I can do that.
I know you are an excellent shot, so it should be easy for you. But not so easy after you have drunk what's left of this whiskey, hmm? What about it?
Oh, there's a catch. There's always a catch.
Is he still shooting gold bullets?
Boy, you don't want to join the village people.
And if you miss,
Couldn't make it easy
amigo, we take advantage of your booty.
but not
Liberation, liberation. It's time for liberation, liberation.
So easy after you have drunk what's left of this whiskey, hmm? What about it?
It's like, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, it is also worth mentioning that obviously, like everybody, you can click on the link below and watch this movie 100% for free, unedited on Tubi. But there's also a lot of copies of this on YouTube. Just make sure that if you watch a copy on YouTube, that it's at least an hour and 54 minutes, because otherwise you're watching an edited version of this movie, and you do not want to watch an edited version of this movie.
They never showed like that was the suggested rape scene that you were talking about.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because I was like, I don't think they. I watched up to this point.
Very smart.
What did he do?
Cheer
What
up,
rope did he
boy.
do? Did he hit?
No, he just shot one of the other guys in the hand, and somehow that counts. Don't ask me to explain it.
Because I was, my head was down when I was watching that part, and I'm like, he must have shot like the rope that was connected to the wall somewhere or something like that.
Oh, wait. Was that guy?
Oh, that dude was going to shoot him. I get it. Okay. So,
I'll handle this.
yeah, I get it.
Very smart. You surprise me, amigo. Very smart indeed. But you certainly should know better. The boy's still tied. I'll give him to you anyway. Cut that cord.
It was, I get it. It was a setup.
Right.
Cheer up, boy.
Look at the way these guys are looking at him.
You know, when they were saying earlier, and they were like, the boy, send the boy, you know, and then the boy talks. The boy has the deepest voice you've ever heard before.
Now your life is worth less than the golden sand of the desert.
You're purdy.
Got a purdy mouth.
Now, keep in mind, women in the Old West, very, very rare.
Yeah, I know, right?
So there was a lot of situational homosexual activity going on, shall we say?
You're saying it was kind of like the Romans?
No. The Romans, for them, it was just like they swung both ways.
Oh, if you like the 300.
Yeah.
Like the Spartans, everybody has this thing about Spartans where they didn't do that. The same thing.
Oh,
Romans.
totally
That's
gay.
absolutely not true. Like if
Dude.
you were a teenage boy,
Yeah.
part of the rite of passage was going to the elderly warriors' homes and being broken in. You know what I'm saying? Like
The Spartans were so gay. How gay were they? The Spartans were so gay that when they were forced to marry women, they would cut the women's hair really, really short. You know, so it was just kind of like, yeah, just, you know, hit it from behind and just use your imagination and,
Jesus
you know,
Christ,
just
that's fucking horrible.
take one for the team. Take one for the team. That's how gay the Spartans were. You know, they were
Frank
basically
Miller
like
had
the
it completely
equivalent of
wrong.
like modern day leather queens, right? Like dudes that are like super macho and manly, but also
300 dudes.
Yep. Right, so then it's like, hey, let's have a party. So it's a party, and there's no chicks anywhere. You guys ever had that experience?
Yeah, Matt invited me over to his house one time, and he was like, "Hey, we're having a party." I was like, "Who's gonna be there?" He goes, "You."
I hate when he does that, man. I hate when he does that. But you ever been like in like a major city, or you just like go into a bar and you look around and you realize like there's no chicks in here. And you suddenly realize that you're in a gay bar.
I did the reverse of that. Like I was in a accidentally went to a lesbian bar.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
the dudes in here.
These dudes are just yocking it up. And this is right, and this is what's fucked up. He's watching this. Now he's drunk as fuck, okay. And he's still drinking because he's like, hey, fuck it, let's keep the party going, right? What else are you gonna do when you're that fucking high? But he's watching what's happening, and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't intervene, right? The hero.
Oh, this is the part you're talking about.
Yes. Scene is awesome.
It doesn't look like that kid's putting up too much of a fight.
What's he gonna do? There's like 20 of them.
That's fucking 35-year-old kid.
Well, I mean, look, when you're a certain age, I mean, like what? If he looks like he'd be like 18 or something like that, 19, 20. To me, even people in their early 20s are still kids. That's part of getting
I'm
old.
telling you, dude, the best way to handle that situation, take a dump.
Seriously, dude.
They will.
That's a
I
really good
guarantee you,
idea.
it will spoil any ideas.
Kill their boners, man.
Like,
Puke, dude.
oh my God!
Chuck. You know, try getting a Woody. You try getting a stiffy with like the smell of vomit in your nostrils.
Worse than that.
Oh my God!
Last night's dinner all over the place.
Yeah, so they bone him, and you don't see it, right? But the next morning, he gets up before everybody else. They're all crashed out, and he looks like, you know, they've had their way with him. And so he takes one of their guns, and you don't know what he's going to do with it. He's going to kill Zorro. He's going to kill one of these guys. Nah, he says fuck it and just shoots himself. Self-deletes. And it's interesting too, because normally men shoot themselves in the heads, and women shoot themselves in the heart, and he shoots himself in the heart.
I never knew that. That's interesting.
It is. Yeah, and then like little crocodile tears from Zora. He's just like, oh, I know how it must feel. You know, you did your best to save him, but did he?
But he didn't.
He didn't.
Like, no.
That's the thing. He's just like watching this shit going on.
Or was he too fucked up to do anything about it?
Right. He wasn't that fucked up. It's not like
he finished a bottle of whiskey. And he was drinking afterwards, you know. So
right. Well, so you could say, you could use that as an excuse, right?
Yeah.
Or an explanation. You could say that that's the case. But then you see his behavior throughout the rest of the movie, and it's like he's like fucking Hamlet. He's like not doing anything.
Really?
Yeah. Before with the washing the hands, I remember thinking Lady Macbeth, right? Like Macbeth, she's always sleepwalking. She's getting up and she's washing her hands because she's trying to wash the blood off of her hands, but she can't get it off her hands. Somebody else said that when he washes his hands, it's more like Pontius Pilate washing his hands before sentencing Christ to death. You know, I mean, you know,
like I wash my hands in a situation. Is that what
right.
you're talking about? Yeah.
Right. Yep. But then he rages out when he brings the kid's body home to his father. Gets into a big brawl.
He raged out on the dad, but because he didn't do nothing to help.
Yeah, but meanwhile, he didn't do anything. Like,
yeah, exactly. I see what you're saying. It's a hypocrite move.
Completely.
Yeah.
They don't know.
He washes his hands.
Right.
I wash my hands.
Right. I mean, that's why I think the Pontius Pilate thing might be on the money. And then this character turns into fucking Roderick Usher. You know, straight up fucking like some Vincent Price shit. And he's trying to get Django to defend him. And, well, I was going to say defend him and his family. No, he's just trying to get him to defend him because he's got some of the gold. And in fact, he's in full possession of it at this point. And he explains that, yeah, my wife, unfortunately, she's insane, so I have to keep her locked up. If you've ever been a caretaker of somebody who's not in the right state of mind, you can relate. Except it turns out that she seems to be not insane. And the signs that she was making to him through the bars of the window were like, hey, get the fuck out of here. Like, this is a bad place.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You're in danger. And so
what happened to the boy's dad? Like, because he had half the gold, right?
Yeah, and then what happens is the preacher steals his gun and then kills Evan's father and frames Django because they're golden bullets. It's like how many people are walking around with putting golden bullets into people.
I see what you're saying.
And it's not like these are the kind of people that are then going to be like, hey, well, what was his motive? Why would he just leave a calling card like that? Why would he sign the murder? Right?
They're going to be digging those bullets out. They're
quick to get a fucking noose around somebody's neck.
Yeah. They're going to be running to that dude's body to get those bullets out.
Yep. Yeah, and then they scalp one of Django's Indian friends. Once again, like the leering, grinning faces. Look at this dude's eyes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Literally.
Yeah, it's hell on earth. The spaghetti west is is bad enough. This is even worse. This is just like the spaghetti, like I said, the spaghetti west on the fucking brown acid of fucking Woodstock. It's just a bad trip. Although, would you of what you've seen of this film, would you say that it was entertaining?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. It was better than some of the other ones,
Right.
But there's very few spaghetti westerns that I'll say like, that was a horrible movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there are some out there, but it's been rare when I've seen one. I just couldn't. I thought it was horrible.
What up, Sim? Good to see you, man. Oh, great. Yeah, it's because I've been showing extended clips, but at least we're not going to have to worry about getting copyright struck.
No fan art.
Oh, no fan art. That's right. That's what I forgot to. That's what I forgot to do. Right.
Oh, so they took your stream down?
Yeah, and then it'll be back up, but that's okay. When people watch the replay, and most people do watch this on replay, it should be intact. Let's see. So finding some posters here. Not really a lot of fan art. I mean, whenever you are looking for anything that's related to Django, you're going to get like 10 billion Tarantino Djangos. Right?
It's like asking for trouble.
Seriously, it's difficult to find. Actually, that's a pretty cool poster. Maybe I could show. For some reason, those files do not like. Let me see. This is a pretty good poster right here. The poster to a wait. Now, does that look like the poster to a Western, or does that look like the poster to a horror movie?
Definitely a horror movie.
Definitely a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
Definitely a horror movie.
So I could understand why somebody like going into. I mean, I remember the first time watching this, I heard so much about it because it's in spaghetti western fan circles, it was just infamous, and it was hard to find. Right, so that makes it doubly more interesting. The original Django, of course, never originally released on VHS in America. This never released on VHS in America. A lot of
you think that was by design because of the Eastwood movies? Like they want to keep the Eastwood movies on top? Or
no, because the Eastwood movies always would be on top no matter what.
Yeah.
The Sergio Leone movies are far and away the greatest spaghetti westerns ever made. It's like not even close. That's why I don't even really talk about them that much, because they've been talked about to death. Sir Christopher Frayling wrote a really famous book called Something to Do with Death. That's all about the Leone westerns, and most of the books about the spaghetti western genre, like Any Gun Can Play, 10,000 Ways to Die, the Alex Cox book. Those mainly focus on the non-Leone westerns. They talk about them, but they're kind of like, those have been talked about like to death, but there like are literally hundreds of other movies out there, and at least 40 that are worth watching, and at least 20 that are classics that are just like really, really.
Brian?
Clip here of Mr. Cox. Evidently, I think it was BBC. What did I freeze? Yeah, this was a series on BBC 4, I think, which was dedicated to cult movies. So they would show a cult movie, but before they would have a filmmaker on to talk about it, to discuss it. And in the case of Django Kill, well, who are you going to get other than Alex Cox?
Well, I saw Django Kill on a double bill with something else. I've forgotten what it was, at the Scala in Liverpool. And I was so perturbed by it. There was a couple of other films I'd seen that had kind of given me the creeps. But then I saw Django Kill, and it was just about the creepiest film I'd ever seen.
No, please, Uncle Mac.
Everything about it was so
Uncle
silly
Mac.
and at the same time perverse and troubling.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Scala.
No, Uncle Mac.
Kind of giving me the creeps. But then I saw Django Kill, and it was just about the creepiest film I'd ever seen.
No, please, Uncle Mac.
He's just being cruel to this girl, just for the sake of cruelty.
That was
I
horrible.
love how these motherfuckers, right, who are like, the baddest, meanest motherfuckers in the Old West, they walk into this town and immediately they start sweating. Immediately,
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, something's fucked up here. Something ain't right.
I noticed the dude had the foot on that girl. That was crazy.
Right? It's just immediately disturbing. Like, fucks with your head. What up, Sam?
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Don't know if I'll be able to stick around for long because there's internet connection issue around here because they're doing, renovation on the street.
Seems like Earls has some internet problems.
And as soon as I came in on StreamYard gave me a warning saying there's a lot of traffic on StreamYard, so there's issues. I'm like,
what?
Oh, maybe that's it.
And you keep getting, it's one of the reasons why I made sure to drop by a little bit too. You keep getting struck on YouTube, like stream not available.
Yeah. That's because I've been showing lots of clips. I didn't figure, but then again, that's right. It doesn't. It takes the stream down, but then it doesn't remove the copyrighted content.
What?
This isn't copyrighted content.
It's not copyrighted content, but they're still going to
live on the Facebook.
How can they still take your stream down if it's not copyrighted content?
It could be two reasons why. It's either like the YouTube bot is detecting something that's similar to something. Like, remember, even though let's just say like the movie is public domain, right?
Right.
It could be resembling something else.
Right.
That's fucking insane.
So if you run videos for too long, it can do. It's very stupid. Yep.
It's completely.
You got cowboys on your YouTube, and that's exactly what Clint Eastwood has too. So you have to go, boy.
Oh, and by the way, guys, the murals are going up tomorrow at the restaurant. So the 6-gun gorilla with the 6-gun gorilla, the other things. So the big murals are going up, and 2 of them. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking cool, dude.
As soon as it's done,
what happened?
I drew 2 murals for a restaurant. Like we're turning a fried chicken restaurant into a comic book geek spot. So I drew two murals that are going to be turned into like wall size stickers. So tomorrow they're coming in, and I'm going there to help install it.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm helping with the, how they call it, the franchise, the storytelling, everything of the fucking place. Like I designed the logo, the characters. We're going to be doing a little manga from the characters of the company. I renamed the company called Poulet Foo, FOO, which is chicken foo. Yeah, it's a bounty hunter now with the chicken bounty hunter with it. It's a fun little thing we're doing, and the mural is like want to put all stuff from anime, manga, and stuff like that in comic books. So I put like the cyborg 6-gun gorilla as a wink to you and Preston. There's a character from 7 Legions in there in the back. I was trying to stick to sci-fi type of shit.
Sure.
Dude, if you want, I'll show them to you after. But,
please. Fuck yeah.
And obviously Alf is in there. And Brian, you were the one saying that you want me to do it, but don't forget, I need you to send me 4 black and white pages, ASAP.
Done.
With the logo of 6-gun gorilla, so I can put it part of the black and white comic book banner that I'm going to be putting everywhere in the dining room.
Okay. Absolutely, will do. Check this out. Yeah, no, you've seen this before.
You glued it up.
What's that?
Looking good.
Yeah, these have all shipped out. And I can't wait to see painted versions of this.
And you saw there was some extra spare pieces that was left from the mishap, so I just put them in there in case something happened. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, brother. I still need to go through and assemble the see what's left in there.
Yeah, you'll have maybe an extra arm or 2. Same thing with a torso or something like this. Right. Those felt prints. I was just throwing them out. I just like, we're going to keep them for spare parts in case something breaks in the shipping, or or somebody tells you, hey, there's an arm that broke while you ship it to me. You can just ship him an arm.
And everybody that ordered one of these fucking things and had to wait like 2 years in order to get it, got 2 of these and a written apology from yours truly.
You're a prince, Brian. Yep.
It was not my fault. It took 2 years. I did them in 1 month.
I just figured. I know, that's awesome. No, I mean, I just figured. You know what? Like, if it were me, that would make me go, okay, everything's cool. So hopefully, everything's cool.
Like that. In case they paint one all crooked, they can have another one to try for test too.
Yeah. But also, it's just like
in case they make it too purple.
I mean, look. I do it because it's the right thing to do. But even if I were a dick and I was just like, you know what, fuck my customers. But you know what, I should still do this because business-wise, it's the smart thing to do because people appreciate that. I mean, that's one of the things that people expect from us in the crowdfunding scene is one-on-one customer support.
Yeah, I added more pages to the book. I might be doing something else, like maybe an extra print, but right now I added more pages. So.
Dude, how fucking fat is that thing going to be?
It's 116 page, but what I did, instead of doing extra stuff, I put extra pages of story. Like originally it was supposed to be 100 page.
Yeah.
When we first launched it was 80.
Yeah.
Then I made it 100.
Yeah.
Now it's 116.
See, that's what I'm talking about. People are going to get a night. That to me, that's always the ultimate. If people can if a book is late and then you're just like, okay, but you're getting like extra pages.
Yeah, the pages are all lettered. I'm waiting for the 2 extra pages that I showed you. Remember the 2 page I added to Metal Valkyrie?
Yes.
I'm waiting on that to come back in, and then after that it's print file, and we're going to print. I just can't fucking wait.
I know, dude. I need.
It's like a big burden on my shoulder that I want to get off. You know what I mean?
Playing hot potato,
dude. When I see,
I'm not this. I've never been this late, dude.
No, me neither. I'm a year and a half late on the new 6 gun, but the people are going to be getting a little bonus pages, right? That backup story. I'm thinking about maybe doing 2, having 1 in the back of each issue and 9 and 10, and then putting both of those into the trade paperback.
Yeah, but didn't you and Sim have y'all had a bet to see who can be later?
I wish.
And I told you guys, I said, you customers are going to be pissed. And y'all like, fuck them. Ain't that what you said? Y'all fuck those motherfuckers. They'll come back. You said
I didn't. Customers, I did not.
Chumps. Bunch of chumps giving me money for shit I'll never fucking hook them up with.
You said those bitches will be back. It doesn't matter. I could have swore that's what you said.
No, I said and instead of getting people their books, I'm just gonna focus on getting super chats and just fucking use the super chats.
Oh, that's why you've been streaming more. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see?
So you decided to become a YouTuber over being a comic book maker.
Exactly. Why should I be a comic book maker that YouTubes when I can be a YouTuber that puts out a comic book every 4 years? Right? What sounds like more fun to you?
I'm perverse and
oh no, I'd rather do comics.
Yeah, no, dude. I can't wait to see it. That is definitely gonna be awesome.
Okay.
Really looking forward to.
Hold on, I'm gonna be sharing my screen in a second. There we go.
The film begins with a shot of a hand coming out of a grave, as seen in Los Olvidados, which I assume is a direct homage.
Yeah, filmed by Louis Buñuel.
Louis
Buñuel was a surrealist director, very big influence on Jodorowsky. Oh,
so,
what?
This is the small mural. This is the smaller one. This is the one on one side. It's where they're at the shooting range.
Yeah.
And if you see here, you see Howard the Duck, Earthworm Jim, Rick and Morty. Here there was like Matt's character, but he got hidden by Boba Fett. You see, you recognize him?
That motherfucker.
That's awesome.
Speaking of Rick and Morty,
cool piece.
I was
just burning his fucking Boba Fett merchandise right now.
Boba Fett, RoboCop, Vash the Stampede, Judge Dredd. This is one of the characters I created for the restaurant.
That's cool.
The chick.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You have the twins. Those are the weapon makers because they're bounty hunters. So we're turning their chicken place into a bounty hunting restaurant. Get it? And the main piece is this.
And,
that's cool. Yeah.
Space Dandy.
So you got Space Dandy. You got Al from the cartoon. I gave him the
that's
from the
badass.
cartoon. You have your cyborg Six Gun.
Those colors are sick.
Spiegel, Astro Boy, Claptrap,
Spike,
Cable,
yeah.
Pikachu playing video game, which is Rollerball. Hint, hint. You have Fry and Leela. This is Empowered, Logan and Wolverine. You have my girls from Heavy Metal.
Yeah,
Darna, Julie. That's
boy.
Armitage, Hulk and Pitt having a discussion after their big comic book fight, if you remember.
Chitara.
Looks like Chitara's on crack.
You have Seven Legions in the back. Bubblegum Crisis, The Bird of Tarna, Miles Morales, because I don't know. You have Nat and Bob coming in. Yeah, The Last Ronin, Goku, Harlock, Lobo, Bender. And this is a Chicken Fu. This is the cock, the rooster. This is like the bounty hunter guy.
Nice.
And yeah,
I seen Godzilla X and
Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man.
I thought it was horrible.
The second one is fucking disgusting. The first one, the first Versus is good, The new one, X whatever, the New Kingdom is
Godzilla X. It was terrible, dude. It was not.
It was terrible. I thought
That
it
was horrible. And that little monkey was, dude. Was that not Morty from Rick and Morty? That was a gorilla version of Morty. Is what it was.
It's so bad, dude. Every fucking fight that the Godzilla picks up, he ends in 5 seconds. Like, what?
Plus, he didn't move like Godzilla either. He didn't move like Godzilla at all. I don't know what character that was. That was terrible.
There was an explanation for that, though. Remember?
And every boss or woman and all the guys are fucking useful.
He moved like a dude, like a human. You know, that's what tripped me. What was like turned me off to the whole thing. I was like,
I mean, the entire thing of the guy going to picking up the fucking arm there and just drops it and installs itself and does everything itself. I'm like, God damn it, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, I was like, that was hard. And also,
that was the point in that movie because I was right with you. Yeah. I was like, it's and also it's just too much fucking CGI. It's making my eyes hurt.
Well, the Scar Gorilla,
like they fucking flying the gauntlet. And the tune of fucking "I was made for love."
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was and that's when I surrendered to it. I was like,
you could put that song in any fucking movie and it'll make the movie better. But dude, it doesn't.
Yes.
And the Scar Gorilla, when he put his finger in Kong's mouth and he was laughing, I was like, what King Kong is gonna let motherfucker put his finger in his mouth?
Right.
There's another thing too, and this is what really turned me off to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I watched the Godzilla -1, right?
Oh, that's fucking good.
Greatest fucking movie ever because it's true to the character, and they didn't follow the formula that every American movie follows, right?
Yep.
But this was like watching the same movie over and over again.
It was
Godzilla
very
X.
fucking bad.
It was terrible. It's like you could just call everything that was about to happen.
Dude, did you notice that the ice fucking kaiju at the end? It looks like the fucking 1998 fucking Godzilla from the American movie.
Almost.
It had
I thought it looked more like a bearded dragon, to be honest.
He looked all cute at the end.
Don't insult bearded dragons. They're fucking great.
That dude was riding that thing like Conan at the end. That shit was Frazetta as fuck.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm not going to say, because I don't want to defend that movie, but at the same time, I found that it got by on just sheer manic, crazy fucking energy, right? In other words, it was just completely insane, whereas the last film was insane and good. This one was just insane.
I think they were trying to make up for the.
I enjoyed it.
I loved it. I thought it was a shit.
I thought they were trying to make up for the mediocre to shitty script with action.
Yeah.
I like the booby traps. I like the little hyenas. I like the fight. I like the glove. I want to see what the rest of the suit
I thought that was cool, but the corn factor was just out of this world. I was like, this is.
But here's the thing. You got to remember when you're going in with your expectations. What part of Godzilla versus King Kong 3 do you not understand? Right? You're just kind of like, okay, it's Godzilla versus Kong, the 3, including the original King Kong versus Godzilla. So it's just like, what are you going to do?
It kind of feels like you're giving them a pass on making a bad movie.
Yeah, dude. Godzilla doesn't even get a fucking cool fight.
I don't think it's terrible.
He goes to fight that fucking dragon character, kills him in 5 seconds. Like, the fuck?
I thought that fight was pretty dope. I like that zero gravity fight. That was pretty cool.
The one fight that I
like him beating him down with that monkey. He's weaponized that little monkey. He's fucking smacking those fools around. It was funny.
That fucking little monkey would be dead.
Exactly. It looks like it seems to me like they're trying to kill. They're killing Kong in every movie. You know, like he has to be resuscitated back to life and all this kind of stupid shit. I'm like, that just makes him seem like a bitch.
Yeah, the Mothra was pretty cool too.
Although in the beginning he has a bad tooth, he has a bad teether, and that's
doesn't have a bad teeth. He broke it because of the anus.
Right. Yeah. No. And of course, the one scene that I really thoroughly enjoyed was when Kong comes to the surface and Godzilla's just like, oh, so you want round 2, huh? And Kong's like, no. He's like doing this, right? When he gets tackled and knocked into like the pyramid and then just starts laying the fucking beat
Yeah,
down.
that's the only.
Yeah,
that's the
but
only
it just
part
seemed
of
like
the movie.
they
It was
forgot
fun.
how Godzilla moves.
American Godzilla. It's not true Godzilla. See, that's the other thing too. When I go into these movies, I'm not going in for a Godzilla movie because Godzilla is the Toho Godzilla. Only Toho Godzilla. Toho Godzilla is the only authentic Godzilla.
I don't know. Like they did a pretty good job before with the previous movies.
Yeah, they did. I have to admit,
they
Godzilla
really
1
fucked it up with this one. I'm sorry.
No,
And
Godzilla
2
vs. Kong 1 was really good. Was like a genuinely good.
Yeah, but Godzilla 1
2 was
movie
good too. I loved it. You know, with Ghidorah, I thought that was amazing.
That was fucking
3 with King Kong, I thought that was cool too. But this one, I mean, they had the Nintendo Power Glove. You know, they had Purple Godzilla.
It's a glove for a fucking power glove. See, that's one of the things I loved about it. I thought that scene was awesome. Once again, it's that crazy energy.
Like it's gonna save him from that freezer burn on his fucking hand, you know?
Exactly. I'm like, regenerate flesh. I was like, this is retarded.
No, it's stupid. But
I liked him riding that ice dragon at the end. That was pretty dope.
That was cool. Yeah, they had some stuff that was okay, but I mean, as far as like the whole movie, like after you get to a certain point, you're like, this is as corny as it can fucking get. Dude. Why am I even watching this?
I thought it was both of them pretty corny though, but they're pretty fun.
Yes.
Kingdom.
Okay.
Do you guys see Kingdom yet?
Before I close this, I just wanted to show you these to see if you guys recognize those before I close it. Because that's one of those wings that not a lot of people get.
Oh, it's fucking
Batteries not included.
Yep. It's the mom and dad, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a personal little cameo that I'm like, not everybody's gonna see it, but
that's an obscure 80s reference right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that piece is straight fire, dude. You really fucking knocked out the park. The colors are popping too.
Yeah, you did.
Definitely got that kind of space chain food.
Yeah, you wanted me to do a rendering that's really look like an anime cartoon, like high end. So that's what I went with, like I did with that. So kind of feels like it could be in an adverse.
Yeah, and I will definitely get you the black and white art. Preston, do I have your permission to use some of your art for his mural?
Yeah,
okay.
Just send me that and the logo so I can make a nice little banner that we can as soon as they're ready, I stick it and it's gonna be like a banner going around the dining room.
Oh, dude.
You talk about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? Is that the movie?
Or the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
No, yeah, the new Planet of the Grapes movie. Here's the thing too.
Did you guys see it? I saw it on Sunday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Opinion.
It was pretty good. I mean, they're all kind of like the same. Like they're all watchable, you know? But it was kind of, I don't know. I expected a little more, but it was still a dope movie.
Well, you see, like Rise, I thought was brilliant. And I was so psyched to see more of that. And
Dawn is my favorite.
And 3 was also kind of disappointing. Which one's
your Rise is really good. So Dawn's my favorite. I like the Koba and Caesar feud.
Well, in 2 and 3, here's the thing about 2 and 3 also is, and also you got to give it up also for the new Godzilla vs. Kong. Weta are doing the best fucking CG. The special effects in those, especially the Planet of the Apes movies, is astonishing. It's
the best, I think, in the Ape movies.
I mean, there's one thing I have to say about Weta. There's one thing I need to say about Weta and Legendary, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Fuck off with the next Godzilla versus Kong. I want Godzilla with fucking Pacific Rim, bitches. They've been promising this for a fucking long time. I want giant robots versus those fucking kaijus.
Oh, well, I mean
they were supposed to do a crossover with Godzilla as soon as they got the freaking.
I want armored up Kong, dog, and I want to see all the rest of the power fucking armor.
I thought they were done with Pacific Rim. I thought it's now a dead property. From what I heard,
they kind of killed it with Pacific Rim 2, but they said they were supposed to be doing Kong versus Pacific Rim, and I'm sorry, man, not Kong and Godzilla, and come on.
Well, do you guys remember when Marvel did the Godzilla comic book? They also did a Shogun Warriors comic book.
Yeah, that was
Shogun Warriors fighting Godzilla.
That was the Wild West of comics. Like they could do whatever the hell.
I mean, you know, I mean, that's why my favorite Godzilla movie is Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, right?
That's the best one.
What, 92? That's my favorite because it's a giant fucking robot. And it made me think, why didn't they do more mech movies? Why didn't they do a Guy King movie? Why didn't they do a fucking Mazinger Z movie, right? Or Grandizer, or like...
It's a rights problem because I want Grandizer, the Transor Z and stuff like that, but it's,
Same reason
that guy and those other guys,
Same reason why they haven't done a ROM movie, like ROM Space Knight. Because people have been screaming for that for the longest time.
Yeah, they have.
Another movie that we're supposed to be getting, that it was the Bruckheimer that fucking bought the rights and it's been stuck at Disney for all this long.
Yeah.
Fucking Alien Legions.
Don't tell me that. Jesus,
dude, I've been freaking out
because for a really good Alien Legion movie.
I fucking give a right arm. No, not my right arm, my left arm.
Your left, right? I'm like, my right or my left nut? Okay, I left my left.
Dude, Alien Legion would beat the shit, dude. That's one of the only thing that could come. Yeah. And it's supposed to be Jerry Bruckheimer.
Look, those motherfuckers. Look, here's the thing. I don't want to see an adaptation of anything I care about until this woke shit's over, right? Everything, every IP that I love, I want it just to lay fucking fallow and wait until the woke shit's over and then do a Conan movie. I
would tend to agree with you, but we need those fucking movies to come out unwoke to kick the woke's ass. Look at X-Men 97.
It's true.
Fuck you. 97 is pretty fucking good.
Which one?
X-Men 97. That's pretty fucking good.
I've been enjoying that. Actually, watched all the way up until the last episode. What a pleasant surprise.
I know, man.
Solid.
Have you seen that yet, Matt?
They fucking broke my heart at episode 5.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's like one of the best seasons, if not the best.
Like episode 5 broke my heart, dude. Every time I rewatch it, I still have that. I still get choked up.
Yeah, but Rogue's a bitch. I mean, she was my waifu, mind you, right? Well, I had a couple of waifus. Big Bardo was my waifu. Rogue was my waifu. We all have our waifus.
But that's the thing is, I like Rogue in there. Like I've always been like a big fan of Rogue. They did it dirty by the love triangle, but they never touched it, but they made it work, especially with the dance when she just goes, "No, Remy was right. It's things are deeper than skin." Yeah. And then you see them like going into power couple again.
Yes.
But then spoilers, people, they break your fucking heart.
I know.
Dude, that last scene, when it goes boom.
Yeah.
And that last scene, the cry, you're like, oh fuck. It gets you to the fucking
Yeah. It's brilliant. It really is. X-Men 97. Here's the thing. We've been baited and switched so many times. Do you know how painful it is to be an X-Men fan?
Mm-hmm.
How many times we've been fucked? And X-Men was my shit when I was.
It is my favorite. It was my favorite comic. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And that's before I started discovering like the indie stuff in the 80s and everything.
And I like the fact that this season really, really touches the Chris Claremont years.
Yes, in a major fucking way. Fucking way. Chris Claremont is like one of our great modern mythologists, I think. I think he's maybe the most underrated writer.
I even enjoy his Huntsman shit. And when it was a crossover with Wildcats and Cyberforce, I was like, holy shit, that's pretty cool. Remember Huntsman?
Yes.
Yeah, Huntsman was badass. Chris Claremont's a beast. Was a beast. Mm-hmm. I don't know if does he still write or is he
dude.
He's back at Marvel right now.
Oh, yeah. He's doing a Wolverine on January or July. It's coming out. A little Wolverine series, picking up from the last one where it took off in Australia.
Oh man. You know what? I think that I don't know how we're gonna how like the mainstream's gonna fare, but some of the fucking shit that I got on Free Comics Day that's like indie was really good. The Deathstalker comics fucking awesome. I was so happy with that, man. Captured like the mood, the spirit, like everything.
I got the Conan one. I got the Ninja Turtle one.
I can't wait. Is the
Conan one's dope.
Conan out on trade paperback yet?
Which one? Conan?
The new shit, yeah, like the Jim Sub,
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. I have the first trade here.
Oh, that's right. When I was
Very horrific. Really leans on the horror.
But you know that the two biggest issues during the free comic book day was the Conan that wasn't exclusive.
Well, it's
But
also
the biggest deal was the Transformer one shot, which was exclusive to free comic book day. I got 3 copies. Fuck you.
Nice.
Nice. That book Barbaric pretty good too.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. Yeah.
I just did a review on that.
I got the Hellboy one too.
And did
I gotta read those still.
Did you notice?
I haven't read that number 0 yet, but I read the first trade of Barbaric. It was pretty good.
Did you notice also? It's like those books are like the Deathstalker book, but that was like 33 pages. Like they're fat. The books are coming out, they're fatter.
I didn't
There
see
was
the
thick.
Deathstalker
Yeah,
one.
by Bolt. The one I got a one shot too. Called like Wrong Kind of Righteous. I did a review of that. It's gonna probably drop like I think it's Sunday. And it's kind of like a paladin that loves getting blood splattered all over him.
Nice.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to the LCS and you know, it was like, do you got any Conan comics? I keep hearing those are dope, and they were like, no, we got like a problem with Diamond, and so
The thing is that they ordered them, and there's places like one of the places. Some places didn't order all of them because they have to pay for them.
yes, and then they
Diamond plays a lot of games.
Mhm.
Diamond plays a lot of games with retailers, and I don't see why they even deal with Diamond anymore. As much as Diamond fucks them, it's like why even? And plus, with today with the internet, why not just fucking just order your shit direct? Why do you even need Diamond?
It's quite simple. The reason is the entire gimmick was they rigged the entire market to work with Diamond.
Right.
So the pricing, the returns, the this, the that, the how they work. So now ordering from different places with the fucking shipping price.
Yeah.
Oh,
They could order everything from one place and pay one shipping.
Right. Because the shipping, especially now, is just fucking killer. I mean, remember there was that moment when it looked like Diamond was gonna be kaput, right? When they weren't gonna be dealing with comics anymore. Because they're notorious for never having really given a fuck about comics.
Yep.
You know, so it's not like you know, they're passionate about putting comic books into the hands of customers. You know, I guess it's probably such a small part of their business. That's what I always assumed, that they're you know, it's the same way that you know, Kickstarter and Indiegogo don't really give a fuck about comics because it's like 0.1% of.
But you know, it's one of the things you want to do at the restaurant over there. It's to have like a whole bunch of like the digital comic of the indie people.
Yeah.
And when people come to the restaurant, they can log into the restaurant's account and read them.
That's so cool.
Then the idea is to promote all the indie people, and so they can go to find your shit or.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is fucking awesome, dude. Looking forward to seeing. I look forward to seeing what that's going to look like when it's done. Let's see. We're coming up on 11:15. I believe we will convene this meeting. Sim, tell people where they can find you and your awesome kick-ass art and your 3D printing and all that other awesome shit that you're involved with.
On all social media, I'm Sim_Inkslayer or just Simon Potier, but it's easier to remember Sim Inkslayer. And right now, because of Chimera, Bancroft thinks that I legally changed my last name to Inkslayer.
What?
Yeah, it's a joke.
Okay.
Actually, they gave me the idea. I might go change my last name into Inkslayer. I know it's. Joke aside, you can find me on any social media, and I do Doodle and Chill every Saturday night now, and we're going to be bringing back the Inkslayer streams on Sundays. So
should get matching tattoos. That's one. That's
one of the things I've always wanted to do.
Hell yeah.
One of the things I wanted to do is if I did big on one campaign,
yeah,
I was going to go get the tattoo the Inkslayer logo live.
That'd be badass, dude. And how's your bro? Your bro's doing okay?
My bro's doing okay. We're waiting for him to go see a cardiologist just to make sure. But yeah, he's doing better.
All right, awesome.
It seemed that it was mainly muscular, not his heart.
Thank God, man. Thank God. Fingers and toes crossed for him, by the way.
But that was a long 8 hours at the fucking hospital.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And Preston, tell these people where they can find you and your awesome fucking shit.
X.
Does anybody really
Nicky the Pipe
call
on
it
that.
X? I think you're the first person I've heard call Twitter X.
I think the only good reason to call it X is because X marks the spot, bitch.
Yeah. Plus, you use less syllables when you say X.
Yeah.
This X gonna give it to you.
X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to
here.
you. And of course, at Nicky the Pipe.
And sign up for Hell Night.
The Twatters. And sign up for Hell Night. If you haven't yet, what are you doing with your fucking life? It's going to be so dope.
Yeah,
Matt, tell these people where they can find you.
You can also find me here and on X, and that's at Runecutter Comic. And if you want to check out my channel, I've been doing reviews lately. And thanks for having me on tonight, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for coming on. I know it's under duress. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Smack that like button. Click the subscribe, ring a ding ding dong the bell for notifications. And dude, Matt, I hope you're going to be able to be here next week, because you know what movie out finally is available on streaming.
I don't know.
And he disappears.
That's what I was gonna say. Matt's gone.
I know. It's fuck. Near Dark is finally.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
It's finally available. I think it's on Tubi or Plex or something like that. So it can finally.
Near Dark was with what was that? Who was with
Lance
Near
Henriksen.
Dark? Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah, and
it's
all over, man. It's all over, man. What's his name
Bill
again?
Paxton, most quotable man of the 80s. Oh fuck, man! Holy shit, that bummed me out when he died. That was just not right, man. That's just not right. Fasten your fucking seatbelts.
Dude, that guy was in Aliens and Predator. Both sequels.
Well, Predator 2, yeah. And then, of course, Weird Science. You spit in there. But first, I want to butter your muffin. Seriously, it's got to be a compilation. And, of course, Terminator. Man. He was just
Aliens.
in the process of directing a movie adaptation of Joe R. Lansdale's what is it? A Thin Red Line, I think. Or The Bottoms, actually, he was doing.
Wasn't he the one in Twister as well?
Of The Bottoms.
He was also good in what was it? The McCoys. You know what I'm talking about?
Tombstone.
No, not Tombstone. It was the it was a bunch of it was the Hillbilly TV series. It was
I never saw that. The
something in the McCoys and Bill Paxton. Yeah,
he was the one in Twister as well, which was pretty good.
Yeah, but he was the head of the McCoy family, and he was good, dude. He was
Yeah, I love that dude. And it's way too young. You're thinking from us way too soon. That's for damn sure.
Been happening way too much lately.
He's the one you never thought would actually pass. I mean, fucking, Bill Paxton. Yeah, Bill Paxton.
I know.
Was fucking vital.
I know. But that was a major bummer. Usually, when celebrities pass away, it doesn't really affect me because I didn't know them, right? The one I have to say that really got me that I actually teared up was Christopher Reeve. And
me too, because of Superman. Yeah, he was Superman.
Because it was literally like suddenly hearing like on the radio or something. Superman. Yeah, Superman's dead.
Yeah, that one got to me, but because I was also a big fan of his other movies. Like a lot of people don't remember that one, but remember when the one where he traveled back in time by
Somewhere in Time
by concentrating.
Yeah,
but another one that really got to me was Robin Williams.
Oh God, That was super sad too. That was really
something just smells wrong about the way Robin Williams went out.
I
Right?
know, right?
I mean,
bipolar as fuck, dude.
Maybe
they never
but
said
he was,
bipolar. They said he was
he was depressed, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
they
he
said
was.
it was he had not dementia. What was it? It was Alzheimer's. Like he was losing his mind. Like he couldn't remember shit anymore.
Oh,
or something
dude.
like that.
Dude,
I
let me
never
tell
heard
you.
about that one. All that I heard is that they said that he was depression. He committed suicide. And you're talking about the guy that was helping old people, like people in the street. Like everywhere you would work, he would hire people in the street just to get them off the street. Like that guy did so much good to people.
I know. But here's the thing you have to understand too. Comedians are the most miserable people on the planet. They're all suffering from some kind of mental illness or mood disorder, especially depression. The way that they kind of get through life is they can't feel joy themselves, so they make other people happy, and they sort of live vicariously.
I'm going to do the conspiracy thing because it seems like whenever somebody kills themselves, it's like, oh, he was depressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm going to go on record. I'm not depressed, and I won't kill myself. So if something happens,
I am not. See, now I can't even say the word because we can't even say the word.
You know, it's the same thing with the weird death of Michael Jackson, Prince.
Oh, well, that was
Leia.
That was a homicide. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like all
of them, dude. I'm sorry. It's
whenever
so
somebody
weird.
gets killed, like whenever they die, it's always because they were depressed.
It's weird. It's also after they stood up to some big people,
Exactly. It's like Chris Cornell, and then and your boy from Lincoln Park. As it turns out, they didn't kill themselves because they were fucking depressed. They were investigating some child stuff.
No way.
Yeah. And that's just what they were looking into before they so happened to have to kill themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I always thought I was like, it's kind of weird. Like the dude from Lincoln Park killed himself
because the guy from Lincoln Park, that guy from Lincoln Park was a guy that was really into helping kids.
So Epstein did.
Plus, he had kids. He had a family. He had a wife, and I'm like,
and he was abused. He was abused as a kid.
And I'm like, something just doesn't feel right about this whole thing. And then come to find out, they had some dude that did an expose on this. And he was like, nah, dude. It was like they were looking into shit. And sometimes when you look a little too close behind the curtain,
you get depressed and commit suicide.
Exactly. You catch a little bit of depression. You sound like you being depressed. You sound like you're a little depressed, asking all these questions.
Yeah,
Are you sure you're not feeling suicidal? We
I
have
hope you don't go home
Canada,
and do something stupid.
Seriously, Sam. Gotta be careful about it.
Brian sounding a little depressed over there.
Dude, I run a fucking
asking all these questions that he's asking. Keep asking about Chris Cornell, and we'll see how depressed you get.
Oh, man. Dude. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate you. And we will see you next week when we will hopefully be talking Near Dark. And until then, peace, love, and metal.